All right, everyone, welcome to the season two, episode one of the Omchain Talks. Today we have Peer Fire from the official PearDao. Um, I believe he'll be connecting in a few seconds. Right now it shows as he's connecting. Um, Hi, Peer Fire, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you, no problem.
Oh, yeah, all right, sorry. So how was your day going?
Everything is good. How about you?
Yeah, everything is fine. Usually what we do is that we schedule the on-chain talks roughly at 6 p.m. UTC,
Mm-hmm.
but we understand that your community is more from the Asian region, so it's good that we scheduled this at that time. We're very
Appreciate.
glad that yep, we're very glad that you're here with us today.
Sure.
Um, so are we waiting for anyone else from your team? Or is it just you?
Yeah, it's just me. Yeah, today.
All right, awesome. So let's just get started. Before we start, I would like to give a little bit introduction on today's topic, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a few questions to you, and then I'll ask your ideas about the current situation of the DeFi as well as DAO ecosystems and the overall what we should be expecting from the peer DAO.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys know, today's topic is DAO governance and DeFi. When we say governance, usually people assume that it's some sort of place where people are just casting votes and there is a management team. But overall, my personal idea and belief is that DAO is a much broader concept than that. It
Mm.
involves every community member to do what they can do and
Yes.
participate in the project's growth by collaborating with other community members as well.
You're
So,
right.
Fire, can you tell us how PearDao works and what's your main motivation and what you would like to deliver to the blockchain ecosystem?
Yeah, great question. So PearDao, we actually a non-custodial, and what we want to deliver is like we want to be the long-term builder for the Web3 world. And currently we have three products here. The first one is we started from the PearDao P2P marketplace, which is like a 100% D app. So I mean, all the transactions actually go through a smart contract, and you can trade the cryptocurrencies at our platform without sending without storing the cryptocurrencies and the funds to our own platform. I mean, this is totally different from the centralized exchange because you are the one who can manage your own funds or cryptocurrencies. And the second product we have is NFT marketplace. And this NFT marketplace is kind of different compared to the LooksRare or OpenSea. Because we have a unique function that you can trade NFTs directly, like via the fiat currency, and the only charge is like 0.002 BNB from the seller part. And also, if you want to use the cryptocurrencies to trade NFT, then you can do that, and we only charge like 0.5% for the transaction fee. So I think those two are unique features for our NFT marketplace. And our GameFi is a farming game that we will launch like the end of this month. It like help people to call people's attention of protecting environments because it's actually like a game that is kind of easier for like majority users. You know, it's just like we give you some NFTs as the seeds, and then you can plant these seeds at the land and grow the seeds to some beautiful plants, and that is very interesting. So also, you know, we are trying to make ourselves like Amazon for the web world. If you want me to use some, you know, like more familiar concepts for people, what I mean the Amazon for the Web3 world is like you can not only use cryptocurrencies to lead, but also you can use cryptocurrency to buy some real daily necessities like groceries or books or something like this. So we are collaborating with Alchemy Pay, so we kind of get connected to the more than 100 countries globally. So our users can use different kinds of payments in global regions. Yeah.
Those are really awesome things, especially about the NFTs, because like as for the payments as well, usually what we see on the existing products right now is that there is a separation. It's like first you convert your fiat money to some cryptocurrency, and
Yes.
then with that cryptocurrency you can only buy things on the blockchain. You won't
Yes.
be able to buy your groceries or do anything. So in that sense, we are actually kind of isolating those two worlds. Because when people say that, hey, what do I do with USDT? And then you say like you buy another cryptocurrency, and then the question is like, what do I do with that cryptocurrency? And usually the answer is just like you can buy some NFT or like switch it for another cryptocurrency. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
important that we bring some you know people from the actual Web2 world to the blockchain so that they can do NFTs. And then also from the other side, make some Web3 products or like tokens as well as cryptocurrencies usable in the Web2 world so that people can use their cryptocurrencies to buy groceries.
You're
Um,
right.
yeah, in that sense, actually, we have recently launched an NFT page on our own blockchain on a web app. It's basically like very simple, looks similar
Mm.
to the OpenSea's NFT issuance, and all
Mm-hmm.
users have to do is just like put the image, enter the descriptions and everything, and then it's like it costs nothing for them to mint the NFTs. Because
Wow.
often I am understanding and I am seeing is that if you want to have an on-chain NFT, even if
Yeah.
it's very little, like even if it's
Yes.
a very little fee, you still have to have some cryptocurrency. But
You're
it's very
right.
hard to obtain some cryptocurrency, right? First, you have to
Yes.
go to some centralized exchange, do the KYC things, and then make a
Yes.
bank transfer, wait for like a few days, and the money is there.
Mm.
You have to buy the currency and then open a cryptocurrency wallet, transfer the funds, and then only
Yeah.
you can do the minting processes. So it's
You're
really
right.
important that we have some adaptation and intermediary products that is going to enable those Web3 products to be utilized better by the communities, I think.
You're right. Totally. Yeah. And I really like your product that you can help them to mint the NFTs at your website because this also, not easy for especially for some artists. And because, when they list their NFTs to our marketplace, it's also not that easy for lots of people. So I'm thinking, after the Twitter space today, we may can find a new collaboration that, whoever minted at your platform, they can just go to our NFT marketplace to list their NFTs to facilitate the trade.
Exactly, that would be awesome because it's basically like I am always looking at the Web2 world, right? When there is a
Yes.
new product, for example, Netflix or Amazon, they just
Mm,
tell you that, hey, just click on this button, log in with Google, or just enter your email. You can set your password later on. All they
mm,
want you to do is like get you in first, give you the experience, 7 days trials, I don't know, like
yes.
15 days trials, so that once
Something
you
like that.
experience, exactly, that's
Yeah.
the thing, like once you experience the product and then you get to decide whether you want to invest in it or not, maybe it's not the right product for you. Whereas
Mm,
in the crypto world it's often the other way around. First you have to believe in the product and then invest, and often projects start delivering products in like 6 months or 12 months. So
yes.
it's like very, how do I say, strange to me when I'm looking from the Web2 perspective. And
Yes.
even though we are like crypto native people and it's completely normal to us right now, if you look at it from the average person's perspective, we need to have such products that will drive the adaptation towards higher places. So that's why
You're right.
like we were implementing this, mint your NFT. All you need is just a currency wallet. You don't even have to own, any base currency. We pay for the
Yeah.
fee. And then what was strange is that people did a lot of NFTs. Their family
Mm,
members. Like I wouldn't assume that once you made such product public, people would be
mm,
minting their family members' photos. But then I talked to some people. They said that these are my daughters. These are my like mother and father, and I want them to be, immortal on the blockchain.
mm,
I want them to be, stored there, kept there, so that it's a memory that is never going to be deleted. That is never going to be erased. So it's actually when you look at it from that perspective, when you actually provide the solutions to the end users, like the Web2 companies, then you get some feedback that you were never expecting. I would never
mm.
expect that someone, make a photo of their parents as an NFT, but when it was available to everyone, people did that. So it's really, a lot of things to
Yeah.
discover and a lot of space to explore, I think.
Yes. I agree. Yeah. I think NFTs we're gonna, have a probably a second Twitter space next time to discuss NFT.
Mhm.
I think that is a, quite wide range topic. Yeah, but I,
Yep,
I
yep.
like what you shared. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is nice.
Awesome. So I have actually one question just to make people understand PeerDAO even better. How is the governance working in the PeerDAO ecosystem? Like
Yeah.
how it is governed? Could you please
Uh,
tell us more about that?
Sure. So I can introduce you one interesting schema of PearDao. I give you an example like this. We have 21 independent nodes to deal with disputes. What I mean disputes, because when you trade and you use a D app, and sometimes people have some bad issues happen. For example, if you send the money to the seller and then the seller probably will not send you back the Bitcoin, something like this. And then we have these 21 independent nodes, and all those nodes are from our community members. And if you have this dispute with a counterparty, then you can click the button and go to the appeal process. And these 21 independent nodes, they follow the same rules, and they will help you, like to solve the disputes. And the winner will get back their PAX. PAX is our token, because if you start to initiate an appeal, you need to pay certain amount of PAX. But the winner will earn back the PAX, and the loser will, just lost some PAX for the arbitration fee. So this is something very interesting, because I don't think other platforms, they depend on the community, or they, just involve the community members to this level. Because usually, for example, the centralized exchange, if there are some disputes happened, maybe they have their professional customer service representative and to solve all those problems. Those customer representative people actually are from the company, right? They are not from the community. But the one who help us to solve all those disputes are really from our community. They are community members. And this is like, I think, one interesting part of our DAO governance. And another thing is like, we're also developing our DAO governance, theory and in practical, because it's kind of hard to balance the PAX holders and the active community members. What I mean is, like, for a lot of holders who have like huge amount of PAX tokens, probably just they are not very active. Like when we want them to do something for the community, it's kind of they are not responsive. But there are some active community members. They would love to contribute out to our communities, but they are not like rich persons, so they don't have a lot of PAX tokens. We are trying to balance, those two groups, and to make our DAO works better. I think this is kind of different compared to other DAO, because most DAO, from my understanding, they will depend on their token holders to decide a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice point that you mentioned, because again, like if I compare the existing, DAO governance mechanisms in the blockchain with the real life governance mechanisms, the current DAO implementations are a bit broken, because again, just like you said, in real life, people who do business or people who are wealthy are often not very interested in politics. So it's basically they just like buy, sell,
Mm.
fund a new company, do some other business, do international trading. They are just willing to do that trade, and they are just willing to do the business. They don't want to be thinking about how to manage people, how to make decisions outside of their businesses, and so on. Whereas if we look at the politics in our lives, as well as the countries that we are living in, they're not usually coming from the business person perspective. They come from the politics, sociology, and all sorts of different backgrounds. So it's also important that in the blockchain space as well, some people just might be interested in purchasing some tokens for trading purposes or making money on them, just like as an investment purposes, but they wouldn't be willing to make decisions for the community, because
Mm.
even some might be just thinking like, hey, I just bought this coin, I think that it's going to go up, and within 3 months
Yeah.
I'm going to sell it. So if you give them the right to make a decision for that community's, like, I don't know, future, for the maybe next 2 years roadmap, then it's going to be a problem. So
Mm.
I also believe that in some sense, contribution of the community members should be, taken into account while doing those community participation calculations, as well as the votes that they're casting. There are different DAO mechanisms where they want you to stake some currency to some vault. But again, like if you think about it, I mean, like I am percent talking from personal experiences. I have never, how do I say? Not, I don't want to say never, but usually people I am seeing who are holding coins are not interested in governing some things. They are
Mm.
just there for investment purposes, right?
You're right.
So it's really good to hear from you that you also realize that problem in the existing DAOs, and trying to find a solution for that problem. So it's really nice knowing that from your side.
Thank you. Appreciate.
One more thing that I was curious about the PearDao. Why did you, or like the team or the community members, decided that, hey, just build a DAO governed non-custodial marketplace? You could be building different products, but like, why marketplace? Do you think that decentralized finance is going to be more into our lives in the future, or
Sure.
is it because it's the most profitable business out there, or like, are there any specific reasons? Could you tell us about them as well?
Yeah, I would like to answer your question. It's a very good question because actually our purpose is to become like a Web3 on and off ramp service for other Web3 projects. I give you an example what I mean for this. For example, like you mentioned, currently when people go to your NFT, the place to mint the NFTs, and they need to buy first from the centralized exchange, the cryptocurrency, and not only not in platform, but I mean regularly. For example, if they go to OpenSea with this, they need to buy the cryptocurrencies directly from the centralized exchange or from other places, and then they go to see to mint. And I know OpenSea they kind of collaborate with some payment channels. But a lot of other Web3 projects, they don't have these like gateways to convert from the fiat to the cryptocurrency. And we are trying to be the gateway for this service for other Web3 projects. So that's the reason why we have started from the P2P marketplace, because the P2P marketplace is kind of like product will give us a lot of exposure to different kinds of payments methods. And all those different kinds of payment methods are good for our potential users when they use our Web3 on and off ramp service. And by offering, these gateways to convert from fiat to the cryptocurrencies to other Web3 projects, we kind of realize our goal to become the long-term builder for the Web3 world. Yeah. And for the DeFi, oh, sorry, please.
Yeah, go on. I was just gonna add that it's the vision is so good that I was just like left speechless, because again, like, when you look at our real life, I am most of the time I'm comparing things with the Web 2 world or the
Yeah.
history, so that people can understand actually what I am personally seeing in this field and how it can evolve. Because like, if you again think about it, maybe 1,000 years ago we were ruled by kings, or like maybe some selected families as well. You wouldn't be able to do elections because, like, you didn't even have internet or electricity like maybe 1,000 years ago. But with the technological advancements, we realized that it's not wise to have only one person decide on things, and we realized that we can vote on some things, because it is now easier to vote. People can
Yeah.
do all sorts of communication now. Again, if you look at the trade with the Amazon or like other e-com marketplaces, the first products were centralized, because there was no way of providing the dispute resolution in a decentralized, or let's say distributed way. There was no solution for payments. You had to use a centralized provider for payments. But now this technology allows us to at least try building some distributed marketplaces or distributed protocols. I'm not saying that the current or existing versions, the existing current solutions are the best ones, but I am saying that they are the first ones. So we have to, learn from those experiences and say that, okay, this works, let's just keep it. And okay, this feature is not working, people cannot use it, it's, not very well understood. Let's just remove it, or save it for later. So
Yeah.
with that perspective, it's really nice that you're building a non-custodial marketplace governed by DAO. And you can go on with the DeFi. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for your comments. I think you mentioned very good points. And for the DeFi, that we do believe that DeFi is kind of, I don't want to say the future, because I think it's very close to the current moment. Because DeFi really helps like more people. It's kind of like a permissionless service for lots of people. I remember I read from one article that we probably don't know that more than 1 billion people around the world, they cannot use the bank service. I mean, they are not allowed to use bank service. So, which means that our current financial system is kind of not that nice to those people, and we want to include more people, and it's kind of like permissionless for them to use the modern financial structure as well. And another thing for DeFi, I think is very good, is the speed. If they transfer from the international bank, they probably will know that it takes like 3 to 5 business days for the SWIFT or for other, methods to transfer your money from one to another country. But with DeFi, we know that it only takes, a few seconds, and that is another good advantage. So I think in general, those two advantages already make DeFi kind of very touching people's heart, and I see that the Uniswap and also a lot of other good DeFi projects. So, like your project and our projects, we are kind of trying to build the DeFi world to be a more attractive world for the people to use, to solve their daily life problems. Because I think in the end, the most important thing is not like to give somebody a dream that can never be achieved. It's important that DeFi can be something that's down to the earth to solve people's real lives, the daily problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really correct, because again, the existing banking system was developed maybe a few hundred years ago, based on a few years hundred ago's needs. I mean,
Yeah.
we have improved some things. We have now different systems. We can electronically transfer funds, but again, they will be too costly and too expensive. And the world was
Mm.
not global. Even 50 years ago, you wouldn't be able to buy something right off the internet from completely another different country, and it wouldn't arrive to your home within a week. It would take maybe
Mm.
3 months, maybe 6 months. You would have to call them, you would have to
Yeah,
prepare
you're
necessary
right.
documents and so on. Yeah, so with the technological advancements, we're doing a lot better every day. And
Mm.
again, the existing financial system, if you look at it, especially from the perspective of borrowing money from the banks and
Mm.
institutions, what's funny is that initially they require you to have a credit score. But if
Yes.
you haven't taken any credit before, then you don't have a credit score. So
Yeah.
even though you are making like a lot of money, you have been working in some company consistently for like, let's say, last 15 years, 20 years, when in need of some money, like maybe you are really sick, maybe something really bad happened and you urgently need some money, then those
Mm.
banks and existing financial systems wouldn't give you money, because they would say, hey, according to our record, even though you are receiving such payments from your company and you are making good money, we
Mm.
are not allowed to give you a credit, because we don't know your behavior once you have taken credit from us. Whereas if I personally think about it, some people, I personally am myself, don't use any product that has any relation with borrowing money from the bank. I don't use a credit card, I don't take any loans from the banks, I don't do anything. For that
Mm.
reason, if I apply for a credit, then I'm not going to be able to do it. Whereas in
Yeah.
the P2P lending side, not just Web3, but in some existing Web2 products as well, or just think about it, my friends. If I ask for some money from my friends, they would give it to me
Mm.
immediately, because they know that
Yeah.
I'm an honest person, I'm a nice person, and I would 100% pay my debt back. So
Yeah.
I think we need some new innovative solutions that would solve these problems, because the existing systems, as I said, they're mostly designed for 50 years ago. Even with the
You're right.
emails, yeah, even emails. I mean, right now it's
Yeah.
we are so used to the word or letters at symbol. But if you think
Yeah.
about it, in order to send an email, I have to write a lot of letters. Why can't we
Mm.
just make it like a username? Just like
Yeah.
type a username, hit send, and then your email is gone. We don't have it
Yes.
because it was not designed like that in the first place.
You're
So
right.
I think with your project, with what we're trying to build here as well, providing the enterprise grade blockchain infrastructure for companies, we are going to be revolutionizing the world, or at least die along the way trying hard for it. I mean,
You're
that's my personal opinion.
I totally agree with you, and then we feel very inspired when we have Twitter Space with your project, other projects who are also deeply passionate about the Web3 world and trying to get revolutionary as they can, because we do feel that the speed. Some people may say that the Web3 words they develop so fast, but if you ask me from our perspective, we think that the development is so slow that we cannot wait to see some new features and new good products. So we really appreciate the time that you give to us. So we can introduce our project to more people and to keep on building with you together for the Web3 world. And one thing I want to mention is that you mentioned something very important. It's honest. I think today's world is kind of in the right direction because if you look around, you will see a lot of people who are not honest, but they get like I don't know, the money and power, something that is doesn't really belong to them, but they get out because there are not so many transparency happened in the Web2 world. For example, if we both are politics people and I trying to be get elected. So I pay you some money in cash. And it's very hard to track all those actions. But in Web3 world, for example, in DeFi, we know that all the transactions happen on chain. You can track every transaction. And I think that helps a lot for the transparency to bring the sunshine to the new world. So it's kind of give good rewards for the honest people, right? Because you can track what happened on chain and also they will get more, I mean, money or power, I don't know, for those things. And those honest people will contribute more to the world. And I think that is like the good value for the Web3 world, for the DeFi. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like when people criticize blockchain or cryptocurrencies and say that people do money laundering or make payments to illegal services, I am like, wait a minute. How do you know that there was a payment for illegal services? And then they're like, every transaction public. And I am like, okay, in blockchain, even if there is something illegal, you can at least detect it. You can at least know it. You can at least trace it, or you can at
Mm.
least track it. Whereas, as you have just mentioned, in real life, people be giving money to each other, people be sending money to each other's family members just to bribe some other people.
Yeah.
Criminals could just take a bag of money and just walk away, or
Yeah.
start spending
Nobody knows.
money in cash. Exactly. No one knows. Here at least we provide a transparent medium to both people, individuals, as well as businesses too, because
Mm.
when I first imagined about decentralized marketplace, sorry, non-custodial marketplace, I realized that when I go to Amazon or different services or websites, I am seeing a
Mm.
seller or some vendor there, but there is
Mm.
no way of me knowing that whether this vendor really had 1,000 sales or 2,000 sales. So
Yeah.
all I have to do is like I have to trust the Amazon. But maybe
Yeah.
it's a child company, maybe it's some small business that they have invested in. I
Yeah.
have no way of knowing it. Whereas this way, if you can trace and track transactions on the blockchain, you can actually find out the real trading volumes. Even for the governments, this is very important.
Mm.
You can track the exact income of a business. You can automatically say that, okay, this is the amount of tax you have to pay, rather than
Yeah.
asking them to declare everything and hassle through with the cash transactions. So overall, I believe there is a lot of still space that we can grow. There are still things, a lot of features that should be added to the existing Web3 products, and a lot of
Sure.
improvements to be done.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, I think it was a really awesome on-chain talks today. I really had fun talking with you and discussing about the PearDao, its governance mechanism, as well as the impact of DeFi, along with the non-custodial marketplace and the NFT marketplace that you're building. Before
Mm-hmm.
we end the today's on-chain talks, do you have anything specific that you want to mention for the listeners? Any upcoming features, any news for them, maybe any surprises?
Yeah, good question. Really appreciate your time. Also, I have personally learned a lot from you. And for the listeners, I just want to update you some like the roadmap for the PearDao next year. Um, like I mentioned earlier, we are developing ourselves as a on and off Web3 RAM service platform, and this will happen like Q2 next year. So you could just follow up with us, and to see how we're gonna make that happen. And another things I just try to update is for our GameFi. This will be launched at the end of January. And for our P2P marketplace, we are updating some features. For example, we are developing the decentralized internal tools. So which means that you don't have to use the Telegram like in this moment. You can use our own internal tools to chat with each other. And we will not store your info, so you are 100% like private free. And That's the things I want to update you to let you know. Appreciate. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Anything else?
No, not this moment.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot, Peter Fire, for joining us and our first guest on the second season of the Omchain Talks. I hope that the listeners of this space now have more idea about what PearDao is trying to build and what they're going to be achieving. Please sure that you're following PearDao on Twitter. Their Twitter handle is PearDao Real. You can also find them on our profile, which we have shared the Omchain Talks announcement. Again, if you are listening this and if you are community members of the Omchain, please make sure that you are registered on our community platform because we often share tasks there that you can complete and earn bonus rewards. And based on those rewards, we'll be distributing a lot more rewards at the end of the month. Hope to see you all there soon. All right, Peter Fire, again, thanks a lot
Great.
for joining our On-Chain Talks. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thanks. Okay. Talk to you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. joining our Omchain Talks. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thanks. Okay, talk to you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.